Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm Akio, back with another video, and similar to my last video, I'm going to be talking today about US college soccer and Canadian college soccer, the differences between the two, and which one you should join if you ever have those questions for yourself. So before we get started in this video, please make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I did lots of research. I did my best in getting you guys the best information I can and helping you guys decide which college you would like to go to. College is an educational institution or establishment, in particular one providing higher education or specialized professional training. College is one of the biggest routes to a professional career in North America when it comes to college and university sports. There's soccer, there's football, there's baseball, track, there's all sorts of sports that, a lot of kids in these environments can really push for the professional environment. In the US, college soccer is not governed by FIFA, CONCACAF, or US Soccer. Rather, it's regulated by one of the sports regulatory bodies of major universities. So that's the NCAA, that's the NAIA, and that's the NJCAA. In the United States of America, students begin college after 12 years of education. There are many levels in the United States and over 2,000 teams that are competing competitively across the nation. So it starts off with the highest level, which is NCAA Division I. That's where my school is, UTRGV. So there's NCAA Division I, NCAA Division II, and NCAA Division III. And that's for girls and boys. And then that follows by NAIA. And there's an NAIA for boys and an NAIA for girls as well. Then following that, there's men's junior college and there's women's junior college, which is called the NJCAA, which is JUCO. Then finally, at the lowest level, there's the National Christian College Athletic Association. And there's 94 teams that compete in this competitively in the NCAA. Okay, so now moving on to the cost and the scholarships of these schools. Guys, they're expensive. United States colleges are expensive. They can range up from $25,000 to $60,000 per year.
Nope.
So how the heck are you gonna pay for that? So if you're somebody that can't afford it, your parents are wealthy and they save money for you to go to school, then yes, go apply, get in, go try for the team and just try your best, obviously. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have given to you. But if you're somebody that can't afford this, that has no money to pay these ridiculous fees, then you're gonna have to look into scholarships. So for scholarships, you can go online on the school website and apply for all the scholarships that you can. I know a couple people here that applied for so many scholarships and they get up to $5,000 to $10,000 per year. So that could be a great option if you're applying for all scholarships. And also, are you reaching out to coaches? Are you reaching out to scouts? Are you going to ID camps? Are you trying to get yourself seen? Because if you don't have money, these are the only other ways that you can possibly get into these schools is by reaching out to coaches. And I'm not saying email 5 to 6, I'm saying email all the coaches you can, 100 to 200 coaches. If there's over 2,000 teams in the NCAA, then why wouldn't you try to at least email 1,000 of them? You know what I mean? It's gonna take a lot of time, but it's how bad you want it. You can receive academic scholarship through good grades in high school. So if you're somebody in high school that does exceptionally well, has a great GPA, and is looking to go to college, chances are you'll get a good academic scholarship for the college that you wanna go to. But that means that with your academic scholarship, you gotta maintain a high GPA, whether that's 3.5, 3.7, or 3.8. You wanna make sure you're hitting those high numbers so you continue to get your financial aid, you continue to get your money for the school, so you don't have to worry about paying anything out of your pocket. And similar, if you're on athletic scholarship, that means coach is giving you money, the school is giving you money because they believe in you're a good player and they know you work hard and they know you're there to help them get results. So you have to make sure that you're balancing everything, guys, when you're at the college level. You got to make sure that you are doing your job, you're not getting in trouble with your coaches, and you're just doing exactly what they have you here to do. So if you're on that full scholarship, guys, if you're somebody that's been given a decent scholarship, just know that, it's all in your hands. You have to take advantage of the situation you're given. So playing in a college in the United States has its benefits for sure. You're playing in front of so many scouts, so many coaches, and so many professional coaches as well that you might not even see them. They could be watching you online, they could be watching you in person, and you just never know. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to really push every single game, every single training session you have. Just go out and give it your all because you never know what the outcome is going to be when you're finished college. Also, the lifestyle is amazing. You literally feel like a professional. You travel week in, week out across all the states in the country. You're playing big games in front of big schools with a lot of fans. So for somebody like me coming from Canada to this environment, it built my confidence a lot. It helped me so much in finding out who I was and, feeling myself a little bit, being on my own as well. And all this together, it just really made me feel like a professional, and it made me really strive for really reaching that goal. Also, the training facilities here are amazing. The physios, the doctors, everything. They really take care of you. They make sure that you're physically ready for competition at all times. And that's something that I found really, really welcoming when I came here, was how much they really cared about you and how much they really wanted you to go out and play your best game all the time. And also, when the season is over, there's a spring season component, and that's about 2 to 3 months. And I love the spring season because you get to play against professional teams. So you get to play against a lot of USL teams, a lot of MLS teams, and you just get to see that where you're at as a team. So a lot of players actually come down in the spring as well to get those games in so they can get geared up for the fall. So I think that's an amazing platform to be on and, get to experience that playing with the pros. So a big reason why a lot of athletes want to come and play in the NCAA is because they want to win a championship. And if you can win the NCAA National Championship, which is also called the College Cup, a lot of options open up for you, whether that's pro, whether that's business, just a lot of things open up for you, because that is the highest accolade you can win in college soccer in the United States. And following the NCAA tournament, there's the MLS SuperDraft, and this is a big reason why we're all here. And so we can all one day get drafted into the MLS and have a successful career. The MLS SuperDraft is an annual college draft of Major League Soccer in the United States and Canada. It takes place in January every year, and it is used to select players that have graduated from college or have just been selected from the league. The majority of draft prospects are NCAA college seniors that have used up their 4 to 5 years of eligibility and are ready to move up to the next level. Generation Adidas players and non-collegiate international players are also selected for this draft, depending on if the team wants them or not. So many of the players that will be selected in the MLS SuperDraft have actually competed in the MLS Showcase. So the MLS Showcase is basically, I think, the top 50 players around the country. They go to where they're hosting the MLS draft and they play a couple games there. And there they get scouted, they get looked at by professional coaches in the MLS, USL, all over the place, and the best players get selected. There are 4 rounds in the MLS SuperDraft, with each team allowed to pick once per round. So most picks will enter training camp with the clubs that drafted them, but won't actually sign with their first team roster. Instead, they'll be dropped down to their second team, which is the USL Championship teams. So a lot of MLS teams have second teams, which is in the USL, and that's where they'll drop down their players to see how they perform, and potentially in the future they can get called up back to the first team. So a player that was drafted but did not sign for the MLS or for the USL team is put on this list called the College Protected List until December 31st of the following year. So they're protected, they can get picked up, but after that year is over, then the club that drafted him loses all rights over that player, and that player can move on. So now moving on to college soccer in Canada. In Canadian colleges, post-secondary soccer is governed by 2 major bodies, the CCAA and U Sports Soccer. So the CCAA is kind of more like a JUCO. It's more of a 2 to 3 year programs, these schools. And after that, you can jump into the U Sports, which is more of a 4 to 5 year program. U Sports is a national governing body for soccer at the university level in Canada, and includes 56 institutions. So there's Canada West, there's OUA, there's RSAQ, and there's AUS. And these leagues are where the top Canadian athletes that are at the collegiate level will be competing. And now moving a step down is the CCAA. And the CCAA is the national governing body for soccer at the collegiate level in Canada. And it includes 94 institutions. So there's the Pac West Conference, there's the ACAC Conference, there's the OCAA Conference, there's the RSEQ Conference, and there's the ACAA Conference. Okay, so with that being said, both governing bodies, the CCAA and the U Sports, do produce a lot of great Canadian talent. The level is competitive, the level is tough, and there's some CCAA teams that can actually go on and compete against some U Sports teams. So I played in the ACAC for a local college called SAIT, and we did go on and we beat some U Sports teams. So the competition is there, the level is quite high, but it's not as high as the NCAA here in America. Okay, so now moving on to the scholarships and the cost of Canadian colleges. So the cost of Canadian colleges aren't nowhere as near as much as they are in the United States. They only range up from about $10,000 to $15,000 per year if you're going to a good school. So if you're somebody that has to take a little bit of loans and also work part-time to afford for it, that's something you can definitely do. But when it comes to scholarships, athletic scholarships, it's tough. It's nowhere near the same as it is in the United States. In the United States, they can give full scholarships if they have money to whoever they want. But over here, they have certain rules that they like to follow, and they don't like to splurge on their players as much as they do in America. Canadian universities and colleges only offer unique entrance scholarships to international players. These awards and fellowships are mostly merit-based and have specific criteria on academic standing and program study duration. So personally, when I was in Canada and I was playing in my college for 2 years, I had to take out some loans, about $10,000, and it sucked because I knew I was good enough to receive a full scholarship, and I knew that, you know, I can elevate my game to the next level. So that's why I came here, to get all those things and for people to look after me, because this was something that I needed if I wanted to excel into the next level. So like I said, if you're also interested in going to Canadian colleges, it's all the same things. You want to reach out to coaches, you know, you can email them on their website, on the school website, and just send in your highlight videos, you guys. Make sure you're making highlight videos. It's the most important thing if you want to get recruited anywhere. Have a highlight video, have a CV resume, just so people can see who you are and see if you're worth bringing in. You know, so if you're a young player that wants to play at the collegiate level, I want you to understand that at the end of the day, it's all up to you. You have to believe in yourself. You have to go out and do the dirty work and get what you want. It's not going to be given to you. No one's going to be there handing you what you want. You have to literally go out there and fight amongst all these other kids that want the same dream and reach for it. Okay, so now moving into the U Sports Championships. So this championship is also one of the biggest accolades you can win in college soccer in Canada. And if you can win this, or even if you can enter the tournament, chances are that you will be in the CPL draft, and you know, you can have a successful professional career in the brand new CPL, something that a lot of Canadian kids and a lot of older Canadian guys are looking for now that it's in place. The championship features 8 teams in a single elimination matches to determine the national champion. The championship hosts 11 games in 4 days, and the host team is automatically qualified into the tournament. So a couple of my friends that won the national championship twice, you know, 4 or 5 of them have been drafted into the CPL, and it's just a good outlet straight from that into a professional environment. And then from the CPL, there's options to go to the MLS or USL or overseas or anything. But you know, being at that stage in the national championships of the U Sports will definitely give you options going forward. So now moving on into the CPL draft. So the CPL U Sports draft is an annual event where the Canadian Premier League drafts players from the U Sports. So the CPL U Sports draft is brand new and consists of 2 rounds, where 7 players will get picked each round. Similar to the MLS, drafted players will receive an invitation to the team's training camp to see if they can sign a developmental contract or not. The developmental contract allows players to be paid while playing in the CPL from the spring to the summer, and then once school starts up again, they can go back to school and continue their studies and finish it off. So once they're done their schools and they finish off their degrees, then they can sign a proper first team contract. And the great thing about this league is that, you know, if you're Canadian and you don't want to leave home, you don't want to go and travel, we have the new CPL. And that's going to be huge for a lot of young athletes. They can stay home, they can pursue their dreams, and they can give it their all right in their backyard. So basically, if I were to choose which college to play for in the United States or in Canada, it'd obviously be a tough situation. It'd be a tough decision. So you gotta weigh out the pros and you gotta weigh out the cons. You gotta know what you want and what you like. So if you're somebody that just wants to stay home and honestly enjoy their time at home with their friends, but still push for a professional career, then the CPL could be great for you, or the States could be great for you. You don't have to move from country to country. But for me, in my situation, you know, I look at the MLS and I see it something very eye-catching, and I see it something that I can reach for. That's why I came here, so I can reach for it and I can see how close I can get. And if not, I have other options. I can go to USL, I can go to CPL, and I can explore my options as well. But it's just great to come to a different environment, for me at least, and just get a taste of different things. Because I never know who's watching me over here, I never know who's watching me back home, but I just feel like me putting myself in, you know, a different situation, you know, kind of an odd situation where I'm bouncing all over the place, is good for me because options will open up as I'm completing my last year of school. Also, like I said, when you think of MLS academies, or you think of USL academies, MLS first teams, USL first teams, there's so much more soccer going on in the States that, you know, it was something for me to jump onto and see if I can get a taste of it myself. So honestly, if I were to tell you guys which one to choose, I would say go with your heart, go with your gut, and go with your mind always. You know, if you're in Canada and you don't mind staying home, but you kind of want to try something new, then that could be it for you. And then you go try something new, jump, take some risks, because you never know how it's gonna end in. But if you're scared and you feel like you're quite not ready for it yet, you need maybe a couple of years still at home, closer to family, then that's fine. You can stay there and you can still reach for the same dream. But for people that want to take that next step, you have to be hungry. You gotta come ready, and you gotta understand that there's gonna be plenty of obstacles. So guys, basically that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, I hit all the points that you guys needed. If not, message me personally or, comment down below and I'll get to all of them. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys are staying determined, driven, and disciplined in your goals every single day. Please don't give up. And make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video if you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. William Akio's out.